07 Citizens Black here from Casa Black Gaming, where my house is your house. And welcome to my ship fighter series where I take two ships that are often compared, and using specs, experience, and a little help from social media, we try to get to the bottom of which ship is the king of the ring and to help you make a decision on which ship is right for you. Now, as with any tournament, the outcomes could vary based on any number of things, and with most of these comparisons being tied together through either a similar utility or perhaps, as in this case, two of the first early multiplayer ships in the game that will be most people's first true medium ship upgrade. The fight could end up being a draw, or you, the viewer, might not agree with the outcome because you happen to prefer one trait, feature, or spec over another, which is fine. And this matchup is really just to give you a decent comparison so you can also make up your own mind. Now, this is meant to be a fun way to engage the viewers, and so no hurt feelings if the outcome is not what you think it should be. Now, as always, I appreciate the comments as it helps my videos defeat the evil YouTube algorithm boss that hates my short runtime. So if you like this video and think I deserve it, please like and subscribe and let me know down below. Now let's get to the fight! Ladies and gents, and any extraterrestrials out there. To my left, we have the Cutlass Black from Drake, sporting a rugged black and steel alloyed trim body. To my right, we have the Freelancer from MISC, looking equally trim and slim with its dark pewter single chassis frame. Going down the stats, we see the stats almost even in length, width, and height. But the Freelancer does hold the advantage in cargo capacity. But will this give it a huge advantage? Guess we'll find out. This match seems very much even, and I for one am looking forward to a solid match. Now, with all of the intros out of the way, let's get to the reason for the season. Round 1, fight! So both of these ships start out pretty sluggish, as if they're not eager to fight one another. Now, both ships approach combat pretty much the same way, having decent forward firing weapons, but with the Cutlass Black you get the option to put those guns on pucks, allowing for some swivel action for less experienced fighters, or if you know you'll be going up against smaller attackers, whereas the base Freelancer only has fixed size 3 guns, so not much on options there. Both of these ships offer up a manned turret to give another player the chance to join in the fun and lend a hand, but again, the Cutlass Black offers up 2 size 3 guns versus the Freelancer's 2 size 2 guns, so there is a clear advantage here for the Cutlass Black's firepower. But don't count the Freelancer out just yet, as it sports 2 size 2 shields compared to the single size 2 shield for the Cutlass, which, if we're being honest here, has been a huge contention point for the Drake ship recently, with many fans not very happy with the switch to a size 2 single shield. Ooh, the Cutty Black just landed a pretty hard hit on the Freelancer. Uppercut! Due to it being more maneuverable than the Freelancer, and in combat between two similar sized and featured ships, maneuverability is key. The remainder of the components are pretty much even here, so this first round easily goes to the Cutlass Black and sees the Freelancer quickly falling behind, and will need to make up ground in the next round to stay alive. Round 2, fight! So the Cutty Black comes out firing missiles, Hadouken, as it tends to do a lot in the second round as it enters back into a fight, because it has 6 missile racks that can be downgraded to smaller sizes to include a lot more missiles than the stock missile count that comes with the ship. Now, to be fair, the 4 missile racks on the Freelancer is nothing to sneeze at and offers up the ability to go down in size as well, so to offer up a lot more smaller missiles. But still, the Freelancer cannot compete with the number of missiles the Cutlass Black can arm. But the Freelancer's big brother, the MISC, is right there and wishing he could tag in to help out the poor battle-beaten Freelancer. The problem with the Cutlass Black, though, is that it offers up barely any living accommodations for its crew, so the need to make multiple stops to take care of basic human needs will be something to consider, whereas the Freelancer has 4 beds, a closet-sized bathroom, and food prep area that, although is very small, is still available, and allows for the ship to be able to stay out longer than the Cutlass Black. Even though the Freelancer sports a little more room to include a 4th person more comfortably, the 3 3-person fit of the Cutlass Black is much less cramped in space. While having the tiny food prep area and bathroom are decent gestures for the Freelancer, they're not really practical in their application, and many hope for a refit of the Freelancer to do away with the large cockpit and 2 of the beds to make for more living space to make this a ship where 3 or 4 people could comfortably live on board. So while it's admirable that the Freelancer has these features, since they are barely usable now though, they are not enough to conquer the Cutlass Black in this round, and so it clearly goes to the Cutty again. Round 3, fight! The poor Freelancer appears to be running out of steam. The Cutty is faster than the Freelancer and more maneuverable and has more damage per second, and while the Freelancer is similarly priced and sized, it just does not have the open feel and utility like the Cutlass Black, and I think implementation is playing a huge part here in this fight. Take the cargo holds for example. The Freelancer has more SCU space, yet its long, narrow cargo hold does not quite make most land vehicles as easy to bring on board and maneuver. The extra width of the Cutlass Black really helps in this regard, especially with a wider vehicle like the Rock. In the Cutty, you can easily go around the sides without any problem, being able to stay within the ship once you bring a vehicle on board, and yet with the Freelancer you have to leave out the back and go around to get in the side ladder. I think the multiple entryways is nice for the Freelancer. The Cutlass could really benefit from a ladder on the side of the ship where the bay doors open, but it's not a deal breaker and still offers up something useful, especially in space where the lack of gravity allows you to use the entrances more easily. Now another feature of the Cutlass that is better over the Freelancer is the door buttons that the ship has to enter or exit, whereas the Freelancer still has the old way of no buttons, which at times can result in you entering the turret instead of lowering the back ramp from inside. And that's going to be a knockout punch by the Cutlass Black. This game is over. You lose. Perfect. Alright, and that's going to do it for this edition of Ship Fighter. This fight was decided by a poll on Reddit where over 500 people voted, and it was not even close, at least not as close as I honestly thought it would be. I know the Freelancer comes in various flavors, and I have no doubt that something like the MISC or Max would do a lot better, but I went with base versus base versions here. I like MISC ships and hope a gold pass for the Freelancer will greatly improve on its usefulness, and I would honestly love to see a really solid third option in the $100 to $150 price range for a medium-sized daily driver ship like these two. I hope you enjoyed this match, and I hope it will help those looking to make a decision make up your minds a little more definitively. Both ships are great, and if you need a further review on either ship or a loadout for either one, please be sure to check out my other videos as I have you covered. Now remember to be kind to your fellow gamer, never ask someone if they're having a case of the Mondays, and stay positive, citizens.